All right, good morning, guys. There's no waves today. There might be a swell coming in the forecast, but to prepare, we're going to be doing some stretching, some studying, and training. I'm also going to be going over how to dunk a basketball. It's something I used to do in college a lot, and now I have lost that ability due to just a lot of time away from the court, trying to get into med school, and a whole other list of excuses. I've gained a lot of weight, I've lost some flexibility, but right now we are working to gain that flexibility back, get stronger, get faster, and to be jumping higher within the next few months. Alright guys, so I just finished stretching out and getting loose. Now I'm going to run a mile on the treadmill. I definitely don't recommend doing any slow twitch or any endurance work for increasing your vertical jump. But as you guys know, I'm a huge surfer and I like to be able to surf all day. Like to be able to have paddle endurance. That was one of my goals, to increase my paddle power. So in order to be able to, paddle for 3 hours against the current like I've been trying to do recently, I definitely want to develop my cardiac strength and build some cardio. So I'm going to be running on a mile on the treadmill, and I'm only going to try to breathe through my nose, which helps the pulmonary system and just makes me more efficient with my oxygen. So that's my goal for right now, and I'm going to go get it done. Alright, I just got done running and I made it through most of the mile. In the beginning I actually breathed through my mouth a few times, but for the last 80% of the mile I was breathing through my nose, and I'm feeling good now. I feel like I built some endurance. So I'll be ready come Thursday or Friday when this next swell hits, and I'll be ready to be paddling against the current, catching a lot of waves, catching a wave, turning right back around and paddling back out, and hopefully just being all over the place out of there, catching a ton of waves and working really hard. As I just got done working out, I made myself a bowl of cereal here. I'm going to do some studying right now. I'm not going to do a ton. I'm going to do a little hour session, try to do it every day. And excellence is a lot of small things done well. So I'm doing small things and I'm doing them every day. Alright guys, so I'm just going to quickly go over my plan to dunk a basketball again. The first thing you're going to want to do to dunk a basketball is jump higher. I don't care how tall you are, I don't care how athletic you are, you're going to need to jump higher. The way to jump higher is to get strong and then get fast. A lot of people think that you need to, be really flexible or do a ton of calf raises, or there's a certain muscle that you need to train to jump, the best way to train to jump is to strengthen your legs, strengthen your whole body through like squats, deadlifts, and lunges. And then you want to get fast. So you want to spend about like 3 months lifting weights, getting stronger, not increasing your muscle size, but increasing your central nervous system ability, getting stronger, not necessarily gaining weight, but basically just getting stronger. And then you want to learn, and then you want to teach your body how to use that strength quickly. So it doesn't matter how strong you are if you can't use that strength quickly. So for example, you see these powerlifters who are massive guys. They're maybe not the biggest because they're only focused on strength, but they can't use that strength quickly because jumping is like a very quick movement. It's, really fast. Actually, the highest jumpers in the world never leave the ground for more than a second. Once you get strong, you want to spend 3 months getting fast through plyometrics. So that's depth jumps, box jumps, basically just running, jumping. And the key there is to spend as little amount of time on the ground as possible when you do your jump and gather step. So what I mean by that is if you do a depth jump and you jump off the box, you want to do that really fast. You want to hit the ground and jump up as fast as you can. In my journey to dunking a basketball, I was really strong to begin with. I was playing football, I could squat over 400 pounds. I was also very heavy, so I was slow. But I knew I'd done a lot of research, and I learned that you wanted to take that strength and then be able to move it. You want to be able to take that strength and then be able to move quickly. So what I did is I stepped away from weights entirely, and I did only plyometrics. I lost a little bit of weight. I was around 260 pounds. I eventually got down to 210. I think in some of these videos you'll see me jumping on cars. I think I'm around 210, 220. And yeah, so when you do plyometrics, you train your body to move fast. You train your reaction time, you train your explosive movements. So that can be anything like holding weights in your hand and jumping. You've seen me do that. That teaches your body, that actually makes your muscles move faster than they would have before because now you're being pulled up by some force. So that's a good way to, build your speed. So for me, after focusing on, speed, eventually I was able to dunk a basketball. I brought my vertical jump from around 28 inches while I was playing football to around 36, and I was very conservative about, my standing reach. Some people, when they measure their vertical jump in the NFL, they don't reach all the way up. They kind of like, slunch a little bit, so it makes their vertical look better. But yeah, I was jumping really high, and I could dunk with 2 hands. I could dunk in games all the time. That was actually my favorite thing to do, would be to dunk on other people. I don't have any footage of that, unfortunately, but I do have some footage of myself throwing down. In my research to figure out how to jump higher, I was obsessed with it. I love playing basketball, I love dunking, I love athletic movement. In my research, I found out that the group of people with the highest amount of fast twitch muscle fibers are people recovering from spinal injuries. So you'd think it'd be like Olympic sprinters, Olympic jumpers, but no. If you're doing a lot of exercising, your body will adapt to that. So if you're constantly running, walking, your body's gonna make more slow twitch fibers to deal with that. However, if you don't do anything, if you have inactivity, your body actually converts to fast twitch. And there's something called the overshoot phenomenon. So when you have athletes training really hard, they become slower actually. Like if they're constantly doing weights, if they're constantly running, practicing, their fast twitch muscle fibers shift more towards the endurance scale. But when they rest for like a week or they rest for a few days, they overshoot past what they were before, so they become super explosive after rest. So I took advantage of this because after I was done playing football, I was only studying and I really wasn't moving. I was just walking to class, walking to the library, and sitting for hours. So I planned my workouts where I'd do a jump workout. I'd go really hard for short bursts, training my body to move fast, and then I'd rest for up to 3 days sometimes. And after 3 days, I felt so explosive. I felt bouncy, and that's, I think, what every athlete wants. And that's like a great goal to have. If you can feel bouncy, you're doing it right. So another thing that I want to touch on is range of motion. So if you notice during a jump, you might not actually bend down all the way to a full squat, but you still like lower your center of gravity a little bit. And you might think that, okay, when I do squats with like heavy weight, I don't need to go all the way down because when I jump, I don't use full range of motion. However, that's totally wrong. When you squat, you want to go full, beyond parallel, ATG as they call it, all the way down, full range of motion, because if you can be strong over the full range of motion, your efficient range of motion, which is like what you're actually going to use, is going to get better. So in other words, to say, like, if you can lunge with a lot of weight really low and like get deep in a lunge, even though you're never going to be in that position while running, your muscles are going to be better off. They're going to be able to run more efficiently, and the power in that smaller range of motion when you're actually running is going to be a lot more efficient. So right now I'm going to run a few clips of myself jumping, running, and dunking while after I had done that training where I was working out hard, doing plyometrics, and then resting. So here I'm around 6'4" and I was weighing in around 210 pounds here. So you see me like jumping up on top of cars and stuff. Yeah, so right here you're gonna see the benefits of doing explosive, training and rest periods, and also stretching. As you see right now, I'm doing a ton of stretching. I wanna get more flexible, and that's gonna help prevent injuries, because that's going to be a limitation. You know, if you're gonna want to increase your vertical jump and you want to do a program where it's 3 months of hard weights and then another 3 months of jump training, like, you're going to get hurt at some point. That's going to be your limitation. So that's why I'm doing a lot of stretching right now, because it helps with the jumping, obviously being flexible, but it also helps prevent injuries. So a lot of my gains in the vertical jump came after I was doing this training where I do an explosive workout, maybe only an hour long, and then I would sit. I would just be studying for 3 days. And I do this like over and over again, workout, wait a few days, workout, and that's when I got really explosive. And the other good piece of advice that I'll leave you with is, in watching YouTube videos about how to jump higher, I think the Lost Breed was telling me this concept. Whenever you do a workout, if you're jumping, if you're actually practicing dunking, you're gonna wanna like pretend like you're getting shot out of a cannon. The faster you go, the faster, with good form, the faster you go, the higher you're gonna jump. All right guys, so there was really no waves today, so I showed you guys a little bit of my daily routine, like working out, stretching, doing a lot of studying. I actually just got done doing a little more studying right now, going over some flashcards, and I shared with you my thoughts and my experiences about jumping higher and learning how to dunk. So if you guys like this content, let me know. Obviously there's no surf today or tomorrow. To fill that void, tomorrow I'm gonna make a video about how to do well in pre-med, how to do well in undergrad, and eventually, make a video about how I got into med school. So yeah, let me know if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll see you on the next swell.